Hello, my name is Lisa Shea, and today we're going to fold an origami cup. An origami cup is one of the most basic shapes in origami, and this is a great practice shape to work on so that you get the hang of how folds work and how the different types of origami movements work. It is a good idea to use origami paper if you have some, because origami paper is made to fold smoothly. But if you are not able to use origami paper, then any kind of paper will work fine. And especially if you're in a situation where you just need something to actually drink from a drinking fountain or something, then you can grab any paper that's around, and you'll be surprised at how well paper generally holds up against water, unless it's something really thin like rice paper. So let's choose a random paper from our selection here. I love this one. Alright. So we got a piece of regular origami paper, and we are going to fold it, or turn it, so that the bottom side is up, if there's a bottom side. If your paper is the same on both sides, then that part does not matter. So we are going to first fold it in half diagonally, and that means that we're going to take one of the points, doesn't matter because it's a square and they're all the same, so take a point and fold it to match the other point. So the way that you can do this, so to make it easier on you, is don't fold it sharply yet. Just wave the point around until you're sure that you've got it matched up well. Once you've got it matched up well, put a finger on the part that's connected, slide the other finger away from it so that you crease this opposite side. So that way that stayed still. You've got a crease, and now if you slide the crease out into one direction, that'll make that sharp, and then you slide the crease out in the other direction. Now you've got that sharp, and now you've got a nice perfect triangle. So that in general is how you handle making creases. If you get the points to touch that you're interested in having touch, and then hold that still, then if you slide your finger down to get to the crease point, you should be able to get that to be fairly straight. Alright, so if you're new at creasing, then that's a good practice to get into, to get the hang of how the creasing works. Now for the next fold, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a line with this side of the paper, and we want that line to be parallel to this bottom line. So see how this line, here I'll put it on a grid line so you can see it. This line goes from left to right, and we want this line here going from left to right to be parallel to this one. And parallel means that they are equidistant all the way along the length. So all of these different points are the same length. And you can see that visually, that this one is running along this line, this one is running along this line, and it's not skewed so that it's off at this kind of angle or off at that kind of angle. You want them to both be straight in relationship to each other. Alright, so we've got that one straight, we've got this one here straight, and we want that point of the triangle to be against this side of the paper. So again, you could wiggle it around and get a sense of where it belongs and get it in the right spot. And it doesn't have to be exact. And once you've got that in the right spot, then you hold that point down, you drag your finger away from it, and now you've got a crease at that spot, and now you drag in one direction and you drag in another direction. Alright, so now you've got a crease and you've got everything where it should be. So now we're going to do the same thing from the opposite side. We're going to take this point and we're going to bring it up over to there. So we're going to lift this part with that point. We're going to bring it up over to be right there where that other piece is. So again, it's going to be parallel to the bottom, but now you don't have to worry about it as much because really you're just putting it right on top of the previous fold that we made. So as long as it goes on the previous fold, you know that it's going to be parallel. You want it to aim for that corner. It might not quite make it to the corner because of the paper thickness. Now it's folding over the other paper, but that's okay, just as long as it gets reasonably close. And again, you hold that flat, you put your finger down to the crease, and then you make it crease sharp in one direction, and then crease sharp in the other direction. Alright, so you can see that You can see the underlying layer, and this is the upper layer now, and the back is just flat because we haven't done anything on the back side. Alright, so the next step is to take this flap here, this triangle flap, and we're going to fold it down across this line here that we've formed at the top. So we're going to bring that up, fold it around, and it will fold naturally around this line that we made. And then the same thing, if we drag our finger to either side to sharpen that crease. And again, origami paper will hold creases better than normal paper, but if you just have normal paper, just know it'll be a little trickier to get the creases to form. Alright, so now we've got the flap done, and now we are going to turn the whole thing over, and we are going to fold this down again, and do the same thing. Fold it to where it reaches the edge there, and slide our finger along to make the crease. So that is the finished cup. There is a middle in here. We just stick our fingers in and fluff it out a little bit. This can now be used for drinking water out of. It will not stand very easily by itself. Just sort of try to squish down the bottom, but it's really not meant for standing up. So it is more meant for holding in your hand, putting water in, and being able to take a drink. So let me know if you have any questions about folding an origami cup. I think for the purposes of showing an example, I'm going to take a little bit of tape just to hold that flap down. Normally what you can do with origami is put it under a heavy book overnight, and that will flatten it down and hold the creases. But just so that I can put this in here and show people what it's going to look like. And there we go. That is what an origami cup looks like. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what other models you'd like me to work with, and let me know if you'd like me to work with different types of colors of paper so that maybe you can see the models a little differently. So I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.